So this is something which we want to do for not only the Sanjeewan students, but also the children of the people who passed out from Sanjeewan, those who might have passed out, and those who are looking for opportunities either in careers or guidance for starting their own business, things like that. So those people, they will be able to benefit by lectures. These lectures are arranged from Sanjeewanites, people who passed from Sanjeewan. Now today we have Mr. Gaurish Padukone, who has passed out much earlier than you, and he is a veterinary doctor. And you all know what is a veterinary doctor. He is a doctor who treats animals. And this is a career opportunity which is not very much known to people. Which is not very much known, especially to the students. Yes. And we will get the guidance from Mr. Padukone on this subject. And you can ask questions at the end of the presentation. We will have a session for questions and answers. That is also going to be possible. We are waiting for the speaker, so just please wait. In the meantime, if anybody wants to ask a question, please let the boys feel free to ask any question. Have you all thought about what career you would like to do? Do you know about all the fields for career making? Do you people read about what should be the future career? Do you have enough knowledge to select what career you would like to choose? Anybody can answer from the boys and girls. Yes, somebody raised a hand. We can answer. It's going to be difficult to interact, but let me see. Now, Gaurish is there, I think. Is it Girish? Girish is Gaurish? Hello? iPhone Girish, who is joined. Is it Gaurish? Gaurish is joining now. Our speaker is joining the Zoom meeting. So my voice is clear, no? Everybody is able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi, Gaurish. Hi, Gaurish, please unmute yourself. And
good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, that's such a nice audience for me there. All
yes.
the school students from Sanjeewan.
Yes.
And class 1 to 4 also.
Yeah, no, actually there are 4 classes. It's not just class 1 to 4. You have 8th, 9th, 10th. So all senior boys and girls are attending this lecture of yours. So I will
very
yeah.
Yes. Okay, a warm good evening to all those attending this Zoom meeting today. At the very outset, I have to express my gratitude to Deepak ji for organizing this session aptly named Dnyansampada. Frankly speaking, I was both thrilled and also somewhat surprised to know that I am the only one from Sanjeewan alumni so far who has chosen the profession of veterinary profession. At least so far, I have not come across anybody else who has passed out as a anyone who has passed out of Sanjeewan and has become a veterinary doctor. Anyway, I am happy that I am one of those rare ones. I also know that the knowledge and information about the veterinary profession, particularly among the average citizen, is rather, I would say, insufficient. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Today, I would like to share with you some of the very basic information that one requires at this juncture of student life to go into selecting the veterinary science as a career or as a profession. And I would like to start with talking to you about what are the opportunities available to a student who wants to choose a veterinary course. Okay, that's the first thing. The second is, how would you get admission to a veterinary course? The third point that I would like to specify is what is expected or what are the prerequisites of an aspiring candidate, an aspiring student who wants to be a veterinary doctor. The fourth point that I would like to highlight and discuss is what are the subjects offered at the veterinary college. And the fifth, what are the challenges faced by the veterinary doctor in their career and at their workplace. Okay. To start with, what are the opportunities? The opportunities for the veterinary graduate are, I would say the sky is the limit. To start with, the first and the foremost is, which especially for those who hail from cities, from urban areas, is you establish your own private practice. You understand what, when I say private practice is, you establish a clinic, you start a clinic wherein you treat pets, you treat animals that are brought to your clinic for various ailments, for various diseases. So that is the first sort of an opportunity that you get as a veterinary graduate. Establish your own private practice. The second is, you would like to join the animal husbandry departments of various state governments anywhere in India, depending on your domicile, where you come from. Mostly, I expect that most of those who are in Sanjeewan are from Maharashtra. I could be wrong, but anyway, so you could join the animal husbandry department as a veterinary officer of the department, and you will be in charge of a veterinary polyclinic to begin with, and then you climb up the ladder. The third opportunity that you get is to work as a veterinary doctor in Cooperative Milk Federation. When I say Cooperative Milk Federation, you must have got an idea. It means you have to work with large animals, specifically with cows and buffaloes. So you will have to be part of the milk federations. Like for example, you must have seen the, or have you heard about the picture called Manthan? Anyone? Raise your hands among the students. Manthan picture.
Manthan. Have you seen?
Manthan. Yeah, it's a very, very old picture, but it's a picture of very great significance for the dairy development in India. Anyway, since you are, it's quite some time. It's more than 25 years that picture came into existence. I would, I cannot expect you to see that picture. But if at all you get a chance and you are interested in the veterinary profession, please do see that picture called Manthan. Okay. So work in cooperative milk federations wherein a veterinarian is expected to take care of animals which are owned by members of the milk federations. It's a cooperative movement. Then the fourth point, the fourth opportunity that one gets is to develop your own pharmaceutical veterinary-based entrepreneurship. You can start a business wherein you develop a business wherein your veterinary training, your veterinary profession comes into fore. For example, you can start producing cattle feed. Okay, that is one. The second is you can start a business wherein you deal with pet food, cat food, dog food, various types of feed formulations for pets. Similarly, you can start a pharmaceutical company which caters to the pharmaceuticals required in the veterinary profession. The fifth opportunity would be that you join a pharmaceutical company as a veterinarian who is already producing veterinary medicines. Another aspect, another opportunity that you have for those who would like to go into the army or the services, that you become a veterinarian, you join the, what we call in short is RVC, that is Remote Veterinary Corps. This is a very important regiment of the army in India, which cares for the horses, the camels, and the various animals that are used in by the military, I would say, cantonments, including the dairy farms which are owned by cantonment areas, that is the military dairy farms. They require veterinarians, and that is another sort of avenue of opportunity to join the paramilitary forces like the RBC. The seventh opportunity that one can get is, if you are not very interested in practice, you are not interested in clinics, but you want to become a vet, then you can join a bank and help the bank in dispersing loans required for animals, loans required to set up a dairy farm, arrange for finances required to set up a poultry farm, and etc., etc. The eighth opportunity that you would get as a veterinary doctor would be to work for a private dairy and poultry farms. And the last is to serve in your veterinary college after having completed your postgraduate as a teaching staff of the veterinary college or veterinary institution, and join the other last scope is to join a veterinary research lab, wherein the veterinary research laboratories are laboratories that manufacture, they do research in producing various vaccines for animals, vaccines for birds, and these are veterinary research laboratories. There are plenty of them in India, and for which they require well-trained veterinarians, and there is an immense opportunity for a young veterinarian to join such a institution. So having said that, this is, I think, enough. I've given you in very brief the opportunities that are available in the veterinary profession. Now I'll come to the point of how does one get admission to a veterinary college, which must be in your mind at the moment, which is very important. First and foremost is a student aspiring to be a veterinarian needs to have passed the 10+2 system of education with a minimum aggregate of 50% from the science stream. So when you are doing your higher secondary or your 12th standard, you need to have joined the science stream and have passed with a minimum of 50%. I can share a secret with you. The last cut-off percentage for admission to veterinary colleges in Maharashtra closed at 93.8. And the last percentage that was required, cut-off percentage for medicine was 91.9. So do you understand the difference, the competition that is there for the veterinary profession and the medicine? Did you get that? So the students who are interested in going for the veterinary profession should remember that their marks in the 12th higher secondary certificate exam should be of top grade in the science stream. The Veterinary Council of India conducts an aptitude test. It is called VCI test. It is conducted usually in the month of March and April. March and April. the advertisements for this test called the Veterinary Council of India conducts this aptitude test. The advertisements come in the newspaper sometime in the month of December. Aspiring students need to fill up the form and attend this examination depending on the dates, usually between March and April. The aptitude test basically tests the students, one is the knowledge of science. The second important thing that the test contains is questions about animals. Like for example, they'll ask you questions about what is the scientific name of the cow that is seen in India, or what is the scientific name of the buffalo that is found in India. These are very simple questions that are basically general knowledge questions about animals that one has to face in the aptitude test. Then they also will ask you about certain animal fodders, like crops that are used, feeds that are used for animals. So if you are aspiring to be a student of veterinary science, please prepare yourself with all the general knowledge you can about animals, the feeds that is used for animals, the various climatic conditions in which various animals can survive, the various types of breeds available in various states in India. So I've just given you a very brief idea as to what are the questions that you expect in the aptitude test. The cutoff marks for the entrance exam aptitude test vary year after year. And if you belong to a general category and if you are applying for the under 85% state quota, as it's called, then you need to score over 470 marks. And if you are applying for the under 15 all India quota, then you have to score above 500 marks to secure a government or a seat in the government veterinary college. Most of the veterinary colleges in India are, administered by the government. There are very few private colleges. Mostly these are concentrated in the north, in the states of Haryana, Punjab. But be warned, the degrees of such private colleges are not recognized by India, the Indian government, nor are they acceptable to the foreign universities. Friends, all the aspiring students need to remember that the minimum cutoff for the NEET exam to get admission in any of the veterinary colleges is, the minimum. You have to clear that minimum cutoff. There is no chance that if you do not do well in the NEET and you can try to get a seat through the back door, because government seats are all very strictly controlled. Government or seats to the government veterinary colleges. To tell you, the course is of 5 years. That is 5 years of class study that you will have to follow a syllabus every year for the first 5 years. And depending on which state you are, there will be an internship of either 6 months or 1 year. There is a variation. Why I'm saying that is some states have an internship for more than 6 months. That is almost, it goes up to 1 year. And in some states, the internship after your 5-year course study is for 6 months. Okay. So I think that's a fairly good amount of information that I have shared with you as to how you can get admission to a veterinary college. Now, what are the prerequisites for a student aspiring to be a veterinary doctor? The first and foremost is, excuse me, the first and foremost is you need to be genuinely loving animals. Remember that. First and foremost, please remember, I have got quite a number of friends who came into veterinary science just because they did not get a seat for either engineering or medicine. But dear friends, I can tell you, they have regretted that they have taken up veterinary science because they were not meant for it, because they couldn't even bear to touch an animal. Just because you want a degree or want the name DR or the words DR before your name, please do not go in for veterinary science. Please do not become a veterinary doctor just because that degree awards you the title of a doctor, because you will face a lot of problems. Through experience of the last so many years, I can tell you, plenty of my classmates have left the practice or they have refrained from practicing because they found themselves as misfit, and then they have taken up different professions, which is rather sorry, because once you are trained to become a vet, it's difficult for you to change your profession. So, dear friends, the first prerequisite that is expected of an aspirant to become a veterinary doctor is compassion and love for animals. Very important. Remember that. The second is, which is true for all professions, is willingness to work at odd hours. You will be having a very nice sleep, and suddenly 1 o'clock in the morning, once you are known as a doctor, you will receive a call from one of your clients asking you to come over to help a cow to calf because the calf has stuck up. And that, you have to get up. You can't say no. You have to get up, wear your, what you call as suit, everything. And suit in the sense, not tie and coat and pant. The suit is the veterinary suit that we use to, go for our practice. So once you do that, drive wherever the animal is and attend to it, whether it is cold, whether it is raining. Dear friends, your profession demands that you be there to treat that animal. So, willingness to work at odd hours. And third, which is very important, take it from me, you need to be, very expert in using both your hands. That is what I call it as manual dexterity. Because many a times as a vet, you will be having one of your hands treating the animal and you are in the animal, and you will require to fetch some instrument beside you from your kit or from your assistant with another hand. So both your hands, you need to be expert in what I call it as manual dexterity. Okay. Use of both the hands. Depending on how you train yourself, remember, as in the veterinary, this will be emphasized depending on which class you are in. This use of or training yourself to use both your hands to use when you're treating an animal is of very great importance in veterinary practice. Good communication skills. Again, this is a skill which is important in all professions. Good communication skills. Here in veterinary science, it's more particularly so because you will be dealing not only in treating the animal, but you need to be good at communicating to the owner of the animal as to what is the problem with his or her pet or his or her cow or buffalo or horse for that matter. Okay. So that being the situation, you need to be having good communication skills in definitely in that particular local language. And when can you get good communication skills? When you are expert in that subject. You will be able to convince the owner that that animal has got this particular disease and you are going to give this treatment, and the effect of that treatment is going to be this in this much period of time. So remember, friends, a veterinarian, aspiring veterinarian has to, if at all you are not having a good communication skill now, but remember, you need to develop communication skills as you progress in your practice. Another important aspect about a prerequisite for a student going in for veterinary science is you need to develop quick decision-making skills. At the spur of the moment, there are certain instances wherein you are you won't get half an hour to think as to how I have to solve that problem. So you need to be quick in decision making as to which method you will use to treat a particular condition. If it's a fracture, if it's a fall, if it's a case wherein there is an accident and you have to take a quick decision as to operate on, what is the quickest method that you will employ? All this comes into that. I would say that skill of making quick decision will help you become a successful vet. And last, again, which is true for all professions, but I need to emphasize this, is your problem solving skills given a particular situation, which may not be a problem which you face on a daily basis, but suddenly you face a problem. You need to have that skill to face that problem and give a lasting solution to save a life or help an animal out of pain. Okay. Now, what are the subjects? You will be interested. You will be all interested as to know what are the subjects offered in the veterinary class or veterinary college. See, friends, I told you at the beginning that we have a course of 5 years of academic or class studies, which is according to the syllabus, and 6 months to 1 year, depending on various different colleges, 6 months to 1 year of internship. So the first phase of 2 years in any veterinary college will be a classroom study and laboratory work in preclinical sciences. When I say preclinical sciences, these are all basic sciences that one goes through either in medicine, that is a medical college, or in the veterinary college. And these classes are in the fields of anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pathology, pharmacology, toxicology, animal nutrition, microbiology, virology, and public health related with animals. These are the list of subjects that you go through the first 2 or probably 2.5 years of your first the class subjects that you go through in the veterinary college. The second phase of, again, it could be either 2.5 years or 3 years, focuses on the clinical sciences, wherein you will study infectious and non-infectious diseases. That is what we call as veterinary medicine. Then you will learn about diagnostic and clinical pathology. You will learn about animal gynecology. And remember, when I say animal gynecology, the veterinary student, the knowledge of gynecology of the large animals, that could include horses, that could include cattle and buffaloes, that could include sheep and goats, it could include gynecology of cats and dogs. And finally, today, in the present era, poultry science has become so important. So you need to also learn the gynecological aspect or the reproductive aspect of the poultry birds as well. So gynecology and obstetrics is a very important subject in the veterinary college. That comes usually in the 3rd year. Other important subjects which are very, very interesting is radiology, anesthesiology, wherein anesthesiology is the subject which deals with how a patient is given anesthesia, what are the various drugs available, etc., etc. Then comes surgery, and in surgery there's again large animal surgery and small animal surgery. And nowadays, for the people, students who are interested in setting up hi-fi pet practice, that is what we call as practice management, is also one of the subjects taught at the veterinary college today. How to deal with the practice, how you manage it for the sake of, I would say, the quality treatment of animals, as well as all the various aspects available in setting up a practice. And least of all, and I should say, to top it up, is hands-on clinical experience at the college, this veterinary teaching hospital. Most of the veterinary colleges in India have their own veterinary teaching hospitals. Okay, so if you are interested in clinics, particularly in medicine and surgery, please make it a point that once you enter the college, sorry, there was some disturbance. So coming back to the subject, so take advantage of going to the veterinary college's hospital, stay with the clinicians there, speak to them, see how they tackle the subjects, that is the patients, see what they do, so that you get a gist of what veterinary practice means at the very beginning in the first year itself. Please, I can assure you that that sort of a practice will make a lot of difference in your career once you pass out. What are the challenges faced by veterinarians? I have met quite a few parents who have come to me and talked about that their children want to go into veterinary, but they would like to know what are the challenges that a veterinarian faces as a veterinary doctor. Friends, the first and foremost, I'll tell you, veterinarians, we have to learn and we get to work in most difficult conditions, most dirty conditions, I'll tell you. Not of our asking. The dirty conditions are because our animals are kept in such conditions. We cannot treat an animal which is covered in dung and filth. We need to make the most of it. We need to convince the owner that the animal be presented to us in such a manner that it is clean. But remember, when we approach the animal, it may not be spick and span clean and can ensure that your clothes do not get dirty. So remember, working in difficult conditions and odd hours is the greatest challenge for a veterinary doctor, whether it's in India or abroad. The second challenge that comes to my mind is until and unless you get sufficient experience, every case that you are referred to needs to be handled with absolute care and a very good application of your professional knowledge. Don't take it take it lightly, because if you approach that particular patient lightly and by mistake, the case has not been handled correctly, you will have made a blunder which will be passed out by word of mouth through the entire area where you are practicing, and that will bring you bad repute. This is true in the field of medicine, that is MBBS as well as BV, SC and AH. So the student needs to be thorough when they handle a case referred to him. That is a challenge. You need to, the third challenge that again is sort of applicable to all professions is you have to upgrade your knowledge very, very regularly. Particularly for a practicing vet, practicing in the sense those who treat animals, your knowledge about the clinics, the clinical knowledge of certain diseases is upgraded almost every, I would say every month. So please be abreast with what's happening in the field of clinics, what's happening in the field of clinical medicine, clinical surgery, so that you can keep yourself in line with what's happening in the veterinary practice. That is also a great challenge for veterinary. The fourth challenge is, since the veterinarian works with animals and owners, the veterinarian has to be smart enough, and it's a challenge, take it from me, that you have to be smart enough to treat the animal as well as treat the owner correctly and convincingly to achieve good results and develop a good reputation. If you only treat the animal and if you have not been able to convince the owner, probably he'll feel that you have not done justice to the profession. So remember, you have to develop that skill to convince, you have to be smart enough to do the correct treatment for the patient and convince the owner that you have done the job in the.
Do not get scared by what the challenges are, because in every profession there are challenges. There is no profession without challenges. So don't get scared. If you love animals, even cats, dogs, and you want to treat them, just don't worry. You can make it your ambition and work for it and study for it. I think most important is you have to study. That is very important, and everybody knows. But today's age is such that studying becomes the most difficult thing in today's age, because we have so many distractions. But everybody must have talked to you about it. I don't want to talk again. Mr. Gaurish is back, and I will hand over to Dr. Gaurish. Sorry. Doctor, please take over. Thank you. You have to unmute yourself. Your voice is not audible. Please unmute.
Okay. I'm sorry that there was a disturbance in between and I got out of the Zoom network. Okay. I just heard Deepak ji telling the youngsters not to get worried about challenges. Absolutely. I'll tell you, challenges are there in all fields. But the reason why I have to mention to you that these are the challenges that one faces, particularly related to the veterinary career, is so that you make up your mind and do not regret later on that these were things that you were never expecting in your sort of profession. The last important challenge that I wanted to highlight is that, remember, science is developing every day. So what I have learned as a student in when I was at the veterinary colleges and what I'm actually performing or I'm using for certain procedures of treatment, either in my clinic or in my field practice, there's a lot of difference. The reason is I have had to develop certain techniques out of experience that makes clinical procedures easier and surgical procedures effective. They may not have been taught to you at your college level. But as you advance in your career, remember, this is an important challenge. You need to adapt to certain procedures, change them, innovate, and see that your practice becomes more satisfactory and effective. And the ultimate goal is, as a veterinarian, you have to relieve the pain from any animal, whether it is out of injury or of disease, and do it with a lot of love and put passion into whatever you do. So friends, this is where I would like to end. If you have any questions that are to be posed to me, well, either through Deepak ji or through anyone who is monitoring this Zoom session, please, I'm available. I'll be able to answer. Deepak ji.
Thank you very much for your guidance. I just asked the boys and girls and they all said that they are really happy. They liked the lecture. And once again, I thank you. And regarding the question answers, what I would say is the student should ask question, pose the question to the teacher, and teacher can put it on the mic. Teacher can repeat the question on the mic. Yeah. So let us go ahead with question answers. We will go till the 9:15 and then we will end the meeting at 9:15. Is that okay, teacher?
Okay.
So let us have a question.
Yes. Yes, raise hand and ask.
Stand up and ask questions. Somebody who's asking should stand up and ask question and tell the teacher. The teacher will repeat your question.
Stand up and ask. Yes, stand up and ask.
Okay. Okay, Deepak ji.
Yeah.
Let us do it the other way around.
Okay.
Let me see how many of those who are in my frame under the name Sanjeewan Vidyalaya,
Okay.
how many of them are animal lovers? Please raise your hands. 1, 2. Okay, everyone. Very good. And in the frame that I have as class 1 to 4, even Shweta is an animal lover. Very nice to hear that. And class 1 to 4, I think most of the girls are here. How many of you are animal lovers? None of them. So sad.
Okay. I see some hands behind.
Ah, I see some hands. Yes, yes. I think someone has prompted them.
2.
Okay.
2.
Very good.
Yes.
The reason why I'm okay. Someone has stood up. Yes.
Become a veterinarian. Decided.
Question. You can ask your question.
What age did you decide to become a veterinarian?
Teacher, please repeat his question because it has to be. It's not very audible.
Repeat your question.
At what age did you decide to become a veterinarian?
At what age you should decide to become a veterinarian?
Okay. Yes. Okay. In my case, I'll tell you. I decided to become.
Connectivity is gone.
Become a vet when I was. You won't believe that. Pardon?
I think we missed the sentence. We missed the sentence.
I thought he said, at what age you decide to become a veterinarian?
Yeah.
Was that the answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll tell you, in my case, I decided to become a veterinarian when I was in the 10th standard in Sanjeewan.
Oh, great.
And yes. And the reason for that, all my teachers then in Sanjeewan will vouch for the fact that they had, except for a few, they said that this fellow is only with animals. He keeps snakes in his pockets. He keeps animals in his cupboards. And this fellow is fit to become a veterinarian only.
Okay.
And somehow, not because of my teachers, I would say prophecy, but I chose a vet when I was in the 10th standard, and I worked at that so much so that, in fact, in earlier days, I'll tell you, this is a little bit of history. In earlier days, the admission to the veterinary college was after SSC or SSLC, because there were very few people who used to go for the veterinary course. So to sort of motivate them, there was a stipend available to the students after the 10th standard, not knowing that that sort of a system had been abolished.
Naveen, the address and university, the details of it.
Some disturbance.
Yeah, no, I stopped it. Mr. Shweta was having the mic on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is how I chose my career to become a vet when I was in my 10th standard.
Great.
Okay.
Other questions?
And yes.
More questions?
Any more questions?
Good. Students, ask questions. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Girls, boys, everybody. Yeah, one more hand raised.
Someone is raising his hand.
Please stand up and ask your question loudly.
Sir, approximately how many years does it take to become a veterinary doctor?
I told you for the course is different in different states. But in Maharashtra, the course is 5 years of academic classes and 6 months of internship. Now, the 6 months of internship sometimes is changed because, say, for example, I'll tell you, during the COVID times, instead of 5 years of academic, they made 4 years of academic and 1 year of internship because people could not, go out for their internship course. So technically 5 plus 6 months, 5 years of coursework at the college and 6 months of internship. You can take it from me.
All right. Next question. Somebody raised hand. Please stand up and ask. Stand up and ask.
Yeah, the boy in the front is hesitating to ask. Yes.
Girl.
Sir, my question is, does AFMC provide a veterinary course?
Does what?
AFMC, Armed Forces Medical College.
No, Armed Forces Medical College does not have a veterinary college.
Okay, sir.
If you are thinking of joining the veterinary division in the army, you need to have a veterinary degree. Then after the graduation, you apply, or after you have graduated from the veterinary college, you apply. There is a test. There is an aptitude test at the remote veterinary corps, RVC, which they have three areas in India. One is at Jaisalmer, one is at Karnal, and another one is at Delhi. At these 3 centers, young veterinarians who would like to join the RVC appear for an exam. There, the aptitude test is for your physical ability, physical fitness, and the second, veterinary knowledge. And once you gain admission to the veterinary corps, there you have another 1 year of rigorous training into horse riding, camel riding, walking with the mules in sand, walking with the mules in various mountainous terrains, and taking care of animals in various climatic conditions.
Okay, next question. Yes, the person in the front. Yes, please. Stand up and ask.
Was there any incident because of which you decided to be a vet?
No.
Pardon, I didn't get you.
Not hear the question. The teacher can repeat.
Was there any incident because of which you decided to be a vet?
Oh, plenty of incidences in my young life, during my young age, both at my grandparents' place as well as in Sanjeewan, that sort of attracted me to become a vet. Not one or two. There are umpteen number of incidences. One that I can tell you is during one of my holidays when I was in my I would say 8th standard. I had been to my grandmother's place, and her dog was suffering from a skin ailment, skin disease, for which she could not find suitable doctor to come to treat the animal, because the local veterinarian was not trained to treat dogs. He was a veterinarian of bygone era who was only trained to treat cows and buffaloes. And that poor dog used to suffer from a skin disease, and that was probably one of the reasons that motivated me that I need to become a vet, and a vet not to remain in the city but to come to a rural place and set up practice, so that I am available to treat animals, whether they are large or small, whether they belong to rich people or they belong to poor people. Okay, you got my answer?
Yes. No, last, there's somebody raising a hand. Please stand up and ask.
Sir, can we become a wildlife vet?
Yes, absolutely. You can become a wildlife vet. First and foremost is you need to have a veterinary college degree. That is BVSCNH, Bachelor of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry. Okay, take it from me. That is the first. The second is immediately after you have finished that, you apply to the Wildlife Institute of India at Dehradun. There is only one institute in India that gives you a degree in Master of Science in Zoo Animal Medicine or Wildlife Medicine. Please listen to me very carefully. There's another college in Madras, or another college in Chennai, that is a Madras Veterinary College, which also gives you a degree in Masters of Veterinary Science for Wildlife Medicine. There's a lot of difference with the MSc degree that is given by Wildlife Institute of India and the MBSc degree given by the Madras Veterinary College in Chennai. But both these degrees are, both these programs are, I would say very, very interesting. And if it was, unfortunately, the degrees were started after I finished my postgraduation in 86, and I was already established myself as a practitioner. Otherwise, I would have always, I would always had a dream to become a wildlife vet.
Great.
Did you get my answer?
Yes, fantastic. Any more questions? Okay, I would like to now talk to the teachers. Teacher, please talk to us and tell us about your opinions, your feedback on this lecture. And we are going to have a similar lecture after 1 month on the second Saturday. We plan to hold this series at least for 1 year. And I would like to request teacher to give us a feedback. How did you find, how did it go? And what is your reaction to this? And how we will keep in touch with each other. That is something which I would like to know. You can give us a feedback through Dhananjay Shirur sir. That is also possible because I am constantly in touch with Shirur sir. So I would like to hear from the teachers, please. Yes, teacher.
Good evening, sir. I think the session was very wonderful. It was very informative. And we are really grateful to you, Phadnis sir, as well as Dr. Gaurish Padukone sir. Our children have got a lot of information and they posed good questions to you and they've got those resolved also. Thank you very much, sir.
Great. Thank you so much. Who is the teacher in class 1 to 4? Yes, you have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Good evening, sir. It was a really wonderful session, and Mr. Dr. Gaurish, you have shared a wonderful knowledge to us. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And how would you like to keep in touch, and what are the subjects in which you would like to have guidance? Please give me a feedback through Dhananjay Shirur sir. So we will try to arrange accordingly your subjects of interest, and we will have a repeat second lecture on this subject on second Saturday of February.
Okay.
Okay. So the Gaurish, Dr. Gaurish, thank you very much for your excellent lecture. I was very highly impressed.
1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute. Kalpana Kalpana Vincent is showing her hand. Does she want to ask a question?
Okay, Kalpana, please ask your question and unmute.
I don't know. She is showing her palm.
Even Pramod Sawat sir had also raised his hand, and Shweta.
Shweta, he wants to ask a question.
Please ask. Yes.
Sorry, I think my thing went up by mistake.
Okay, unmute yourself.
Okay, no problem.
Shweta has to unmute.
Digambar also
Deepak?
is handshaking.
Yes. Yeah, Deepak, this is Nitin Shahade.
Shweta, please, yes.
Yeah, Shweta is not there. Shweta is my daughter. It's me, yes. Nitin Shahade.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, hi Gaurish. Sorry to ask you this question. Particularly, I'm into stray feeders and animal association here in Pune. I am a member of even People for Animals here in Pune. I've been doing this honorary job along with my daughter for the last 20 years in Pune.
Oh, good.
And we face a biggest problem here is the humans, not the animals.
Correct.
For taking care of animals, there is a lot of
Opposition.
Yeah.
Opposition. Yes.
Opposition. Are you based in Bombay, or where are you based?
No. I have left Bombay in '92 for good, and I am now in a remote village in Karnataka.
Oh, okay.
I stay in a village called Korsur, which is in the Uttar Kannada district of Karnataka on the west coast.
Okay, what made you go there?
As I said, one is, I'll tell you, having spent my best time of my life in Sanjeewan, in valleys and nature, you can't, 7th to 73 to 79, I was in Sanjeewan,
Okay.
And in those days, Sanjeewan's atmosphere, the climatic, absolutely, it was heaven-like. Clean, pristine air, no pollution, no noise pollution. And suddenly in 79, I landed up in Bombay for my veterinary course. After 79 till I finished my graduation in 83, and I continued doing my PG till 86. I had made my mind that I'm not going to join the college to be a lecturer or a professor. I would be in clinical practice. Once I had gained sufficient experience for 10 years in clinical, I would say what we call as practice, large animal and small animal practice. I said goodbye to Bombay, and I came down here, started a farm, and I have started, as I call, dairy entrepreneurship. I train youngsters in this area as to how they can be, develop a small dairy farm, which is self-sustaining, which is, provides them everything that they require to run a farm.
Oh, great. How nice.
And also developed a pet practice, which keeps me, busy with both the sides of the practice. Large animals from the point of developing dairy farms, small animals by helping people who nowadays tend to keep pets, but not knowing and not having sufficient knowledge about how to raise a pet in the most human manner. Humane manner. So that's how I landed up here. Now, regarding your problem in cities, this is a common complaint that I get.
Yeah, no, but we are fighting for it, and there is a lot of law which is coming for the animals, which is a very thing that is happening. I had read about this. I'm also an ex-Sanjeewan, but I was 2 years myself. I was there in around 70, 71. I was there.
Oh, you left before I joined.
Yeah. And then I went back to my old school in Mumbai. I'm basically right now based in Pune, but mainly from Mumbai.
Okay.
And I think I'll have a contact. Your contact must be there with Deepak. I'll be in touch with you.
Please do.
Yeah, let me interrupt because we will have to make the Sanjeewan boys and girls free.
Sure.
We were supposed to finish at 9:15. We are at 9:15. So I would like to end the meeting here if the teachers are okay with it, and if you all are okay with it. Thank you very much to everybody for joining this meeting, and keep interacting. You can connect with me on WhatsApp, and let us keep communicating till the next February 2nd Saturday meeting. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice meeting. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All the best.
Thanks,
all the best
Thanks,
to
everyone.
all the students.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You can sign out. You can log out. You can close the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Deepak ji.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you,
Bye.
Gaurish sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.